Under public hearings, Ms. Doctor.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I move that Resolution 2008-056, amending the city purchasing code and declaring a public record for 30 days, be approved.
Second.
Mr. Clausen, you're up.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor and members of the council. This is something that's been in the works for quite a while as far as the procurement code changes. Back in '85, procurement was centralized within the city. In '92, we ended up doing a major revision to that, in which we began following the state procurement code and the model procurement code, which is put out by the American Bar Association. In 2000, both of these entities made some major revisions to their procurement codes. The state of Arizona, which we follow, made some major changes concerning alternative methods of procurement as far as construction, selection of architects, engineers, etc. And the model procurement code also had major changes. So we were fortunate enough to have Bob Larson on staff. He took this large book, the model procurement code and the city code, and blended those into something that will prove to be a very effective tool for the city of Sierra Vista. The other thing that the change has done is change the naming from purchasing back to procurement, which it was back in '85. And basically procurement is a much larger umbrella, and it better represents what the city does in the purchasing department, the procurement department. And so these revisions bring us in line with these other two codes and bring us up to 2008, and allows us to have more flexibility. There's design build, which used to be illegal. We could not do that. Construction manager at risk, and also in the method that we use to select architects and engineers. And so by doing this, it's a cleaner code. Bob Larson spent tremendous amount of time and hours doing this. Unfortunately, today we had his retirement luncheon, and he's going to be greatly missed, but he did a tremendous job on this, and we look forward to your vote on it. Thank you.
Thank you. Any comments from council?
I just would like to ask, does that, since you've changed it back to procurement, does that make you the procurement manager instead of the purchasing manager?
Yes, ma'am.
And the final vote for this?
No pay raise, though.
No pay raise. And the final vote for this then is June 8th?
It will be 30 days. This
Okay.
becomes a public record for 30 days.
All right, thank you.
Yes, go ahead.
I like this. I've worked in the federal acquisition reg for many years, and I can tell you what you guys have done is phenomenal to make it make sense, make it concise, and make it work. So thank you very much for that.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
With that, we've moved and seconded. All in favor?
Thank you.
It's approved. Thank you, Mr. Clausen. Item number 5 under new business, Mr. Mueller.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I move that ordinance 2008-010, excuse me, adopting development code amendments for Article 151.18, site plans and section, for site plans and section 51.04.014 grading requirements be approved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Mr. Herwig.
Restrained members of the council, ladies and gentlemen, this is part of the ongoing effort to update the development code, which is one of the goals in the strategic plan. And these particular amendments have completed their 30-day review period and are ready this evening for adoption. These cover a number of items in the site plan procedures. One of the main ones that I just briefly touch on is the requirement now for a pre-submittal meeting. This is something that came out of a process that the city staff had with, I believe, the chamber and SACA, the contractors organization here in the community, and it was something actually we've been starting to do as a result of those meetings. This will officially put it in the code, and I would say that the comments we've received from everybody who's participated in it from the development side has been very pleased with how that's worked and how it's actually shortened the process up, because they're able to address a lot of issues before they actually had to submit their plan. In addition to which, this extends the time frame for when a site plan is approved. Currently it's a year with a 6-month extension. This extends that to 2 years and requires such other things as, for example, if you're upgrading a parking lot, you would have to submit a plan so we could address any ADA issues in older lots. The Planning and Zoning Commission, as we talked about at the last meeting, held, I believe it was 4 or 5 work sessions on these particular amendments. They also held a public hearing, and they did unanimously recommend them to you for approval.
Council comments or questions?
Just would say, thank you, Mr. Mayor, that these are all very good changes to the code. And if you are a person who's actually going through the process yourself, I think we actually took the time to work with the developers on this as well, did we?
That's correct.
And so this fits in with the Vista 2020 public participation process, and that's exciting because all the players who are involved in this had a say, I think.
Thank you. All in favor? It is unanimous. Item number 6, Mr. Reardon, please.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I move that Resolution 2008-057, authorizing the application for Arizona Governor's Office of Highway Safety Grant Funds, be approved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Mr. Kimmel, please, or Chief Kimmel.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Members of council, approval of this resolution will permit the police department to request $17,504 in funds from the Governor's Office of Highway Safety. These funds will be used to purchase in-car digital video camera systems, which will be used for DUI enforcement and collection of DUI evidence for prosecutions. There are no matching funds required, and the officers using this equipment will be required to participate in our deployments of the Southeastern DUI Task Force. I'd be happy to answer any questions if I can at this time.
Council? All in favor? It's unanimous. Thank you. Item number 7, Ms. Doctor.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I move that Resolution 2008-058, reappointing Gwen Calhoun, Young Rand Park, and appointing Gloria Roca to the Commission on Cultural Diversity, said terms to expire April 26, 2010, be approved.
Second. 2010.
Well, today's 2008. Sorry. Excuse me. Ms.
Council want to
Calhoun,
make any comments for the public?
Ms. Calhoun and Ms.
Ms. Calhoun and Young Rand Park are here tonight. Thank you, ladies, and another 2 years for you. Thanks.
Thank you.
Ms. Husking, item number 8,
Do
please.
you want to vote on that?
You want to vote?
You might want to vote.
Yeah, Gwen would like us to vote.
Okay, well, I guess so.
This has been a hard resolution.
All in favor? There you go. Now, Ms. Husking, item 8.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I move that Resolution 2008-059, reappointing Kimberly Hall, Liz Reed, Pamela Sunday, and Michelle Cotner to the Commission for the Convention and Visitors Bureau, said terms expiring on June 30th, 2010, be approved.
Second.
And would you like to identify your people who are
Yes,
here?
and Liz Reed and Michelle Cotner are in the audience. You can just wave. There you go. Thank you for your service.
All in favor? It's unanimous.